I'm excited to share with you this talk I put together for the San Mateo County ADU Resource Fair. We're going to just give you a quick overview of design and construction as of late spring 2025. I think one thing everybody's worried about is the economy. Ironically, we just heard this morning that tariffs with China are on a 90-day hold and have been reduced. But people are asking what we're seeing in terms of tariffs and how they're affecting construction price. Right now, we're not yet seeing any cost increases on building materials. What we are seeing is that some things aren't available. Some tiles that typically are ones we use all the time that are imported are just not in stock. One thing we like to think about is that we really need to start the design process to get you a really solid idea of what your project's going to cost. So while we can give you some price per square foot, there's a lot of specifics that are going to come about during the design process, both in terms of understanding your site, but also what your goals are for the project. So we do recommend in uncertain times, maybe you don't go forward with building or even permitting, but it's great to at least get the initial design round going, understand more about your soil, your site, and your goals. That way, depending on what the market does and the economy, you can be ready to move forward and have a better idea of what to expect. A lot of people ask us what will this cost, and if this is the garage you're hoping to convert, most likely we're going to tear this building down and start from scratch. There are a lot of pieces of the process that you can control. And so what I want to do today is talk about how to make decisions to control the cost. So we like to put things in three buckets. Soft cost is the architecture fees, permit fees, engineering. Sometimes if you're going to use a modular company, these fees might get rolled into that, or a significant amount of them might be rolled into that overall cost. So that's one choice you can make. Cost of the building seems counterintuitive. While this is going to be the biggest number in your project, you have more control over the cost of the building. You can make decisions about the size, windows, doors, interior materials, and try to use this piece the best to get your goals. The one area where you really can't control cost is your site and the infrastructure upgrades that may be required. These are things like your electrical meter, your water line, and your sewer or septic if you're on septic. These items are just going to be what they are, and it's important to just get to know what those are and then focus on the areas you can control. You have a lot of decisions you can make on the project so that you can really move your project forward and have a good idea of what the budget's going to be. How you move forward with your ADU, whether it's detached, basement, etc., is one of the big decisions that you can make. A detached ADU is standalone. It's the cute cottage you think about in the backyard. Those are typically the most expensive because you're building a whole little house. But one thing that's nice about them is you can really define the scope of work. Whereas if we look at the attached ADU, that's one that's connected physically to your main house. That might mean you have to alter your main house. Maybe where you attach, you're going to have to remove windows. You're going to have to add other elements. You might need to upgrade the structure of the main house to make sure that it can support this new addition. So defining that scope of work can be a little bit more difficult. Basement and attic ADUs are often a very affordable way to go if you have the right head height. Typically you need 7 feet of head height in your basement or attic to make it into a habitable space. But you do want to think about how people are going to get into the ADU. If it's in the basement, are you adding a new external stair, or do you have to carve up part of the main house? Garage conversions can be a great way to go. You can get some really fun ADUs out of garage conversions, but often the garage was not designed to be a fully occupied building. So there probably is going to be some waterproofing upgrades, some structural upgrades. Often, if it's a very old garage, you're going to have to just start new and rebuild. But it's a great way to kind of preserve the space on your site that you're used to, not take over a bunch of open space, and it can make for a great ADU. ADUs above the garage are really fun in that they're not getting rid of your garage, they're not adding something new to your yard, but more often than not, you're going to have to rebuild the entire garage to add the ADU. Those garages are not designed to hold a second floor, so you're going to most likely have a bigger rebuild than you imagined. Junior ADUs are ADUs that fit within the footprint of your main house. So you're recapturing space and then converting it into an ADU. This can be a great way if you're not using your house to the full potential so that you can get an extra space, but not with a lot of extra money. How big should your ADU be? So I'm sure you all have heard me say this before, but the smaller your ADU, the more expensive per square foot it's going to be. So if you're looking to build a $250 a square foot, a 250 square foot ADU, the price per square foot is often going to go up. That's because you're putting all the expensive pieces in a small area. There is what we like to call a bread and butter zone where you're going to get a little bit more return for your investment. So often to get a 1 or 2 bedroom and a 1 to 2 bath, we're seeing things in the 500 to 900 square feet. You can definitely get 3 bedrooms in 900 square feet, but there is an area where you're going to start to get a better price per square foot and a better return on your investment. Your site is also going to tell you a lot about the project and the cost. You want to think about how you design your ADU. In this design, we flipped the ADU so it was looking away from the big house. It had its own yard, its own access on the side, and the main house preserved their yard. The ADU is going to evolve with your family, and so you want to think about what it's going to feel like today and what it's going to feel like in the future. Let's say right now you're designing it for a family member and the idea of sitting in the yard together and sharing coffee feels good. But in 10 years, if you're renting it, are you going to be comfortable with that same connection? Or are you going to be hoping you have a little more privacy? Access to the rear yard is also key for understanding scope. This ADU on the left this is the Vine. The contractor had to get down this very narrow hillside. That meant they had to do everything with wheelbarrows and handwork versus machinery. It can all be done, but it's going to add to the construction cost. And then once you have the access to the ADU, it's typically going to be cutting through your backyard, so you want to, again, think about the privacy. This client eventually planted these trellises and they've all grown in, and now they have a nice buffer from their ADU tenants. The context of your backyard. If you see on the left, there is a big 3-story apartment building that was looming over our client's backyard. They weren't really using it. They felt like these people were kind of just looking over into their yard and there wasn't much privacy. So what we did is tucked the ADU into that corner. You sit out here having your morning coffee at this table, you can't even tell that the apartment building's there. So you have a great sense of privacy. The yard felt great, felt bigger. Elements on your site are things you want to think about in terms of how you locate the ADU. There might be heritage trees like this big oak that you want to work around. We chose to put this ADU focused around the big oak so it provided shade for the deck. But where you put the ADU also affects the cost in terms of the distance to utilities. You're going to have to trench for water, electrical, and you need to understand the pros and cons of how you position the ADU in the yard. While utilities and systems are not the most glamorous part of an ADU design, it does make a huge impact on your cost. It may be that you're lucky and it's going to be a very easy connection, but you can see this ADU we were working with was way uphill. We actually had to upgrade the electrical pretty seriously, so we had to make these huge holes in the driveway, and it was a costly piece. Again, none of this is too hard to do from a constructability perspective, but it impacts your budget. You can start by understanding your site. Sewer clean out sometimes is just an S, Where this is in the site, ideally you want it to be lower than where the ADU will sit so that you can connect to sewer with gravity versus a pump. The water meter is typically under one of these concrete boxes. You want to see if you have a 1-inch line that you can tap into. Sometimes you have to upgrade your water meter if it's less than 1 inch. Now, this helps you understand potentially where your sewer line is in the yard, and that's a possible connection point. And then your electrical panel, if it's very old and less than 100 amps, you're going to need to upgrade it. Actually, with today's code, PG&E is making any new ADU have a separate meter. So you want to get the cost of all of these pieces so that you can put those into your overall budget and then know how much more you have to play with. If we look at the different ways of how you can construct the ADU, you can start to see that it has an impact on the timeline. A custom design with a custom build, which people often call stick built, is going to be the longest path. There are some great contractors that can get that construction timing down, and then we also have a lot of pre-designed plans that can help you streamline the design process. Panelized construction is a hybrid of building some parts off-site and some parts on the field, in the field. And this, you can see there's an efficiency of building some pieces in the factory and then the on-site work, which can help you reduce the timing. Both panelized and prefab, you can't change everything about the project. Panelized, you can change a lot more. You can change a window to a door and a door to a window. And anything on the exterior or interior finishes, you can make completely your own. Where if you're going to do a prefab or a modular unit, you only get choices. So you can choose from package A, B, or C, and exterior 1, 2, and 3. Looking at the 3 types in more detail, custom ADU is great for unusual shaped lots that step down a hill. You would use just standard construction, and often that'll be the best result. It's also for sites that are very difficult to get to, where a semi or a crane or a large delivery might be complicated. Panelized, again, you're always going to have on-site foundation and trenches with any building method, but panelized kits come flat packed on a truck. They're in individual panels that are between 3 and 6 feet, and they can be rolled into the yard. We like to do these +1 panel kits that already have plumbing and electrical inside, and once the panels are stood up, and recently we stood up an 800 square foot ADU in 2 hours and 25 minutes, pretty fun, then you move forward as you would traditionally with the exterior interior being finished out. So again, it gives you a lot of flexibility on what your finishes are and the look of the exterior. Prefab or modular is completely built off-site in a factory. It then gets shipped to the site where the foundation and trenching has already been done. You have to have enough room on your street and getting to your street for a very large crane and a semi that will carry the ADU. That rules out about 1/3 of the sites. But then the ADU gets put in place, it gets connected if necessary, and then the site work around it gets completed. Thanks so much for having the conversation with us. And again, special thanks to the San Mateo County ADU Resource Center and them putting together this program for us. Please reach out with any questions. We look forward to helping you realize your ADU.